Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Trains of World 5. Today we are on the Maintalbahn route, which was the first route released back in the Trains of World 4 era. It's one of only two fully non-electrified German routes in Trains of World, with the other being the Niedertalbahn. We are in the DBBR 628 by Trainsim Germany. This is a train that is included with the Niedertalbahn route, and while the version that can drive on the Mitteltalbahn is a Deutsche Bahn Mint version from the early 90s, this version, it also comes with this version, which is in the modern Deutsche Bahn red livery, which layers in at on quite a few routes. It layers in on this route, Salzburg to Rosenheim, and Pfalzische Ludwigsbahn, and then also layers in as AI on S-Bahn Vorarlberg, Hamburg to Lübeck, and the Kinzigtalbahn. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Okay, first off, reverser in and forward, unlock the right-hand doors, cut in the brakes, put them to minimum. Headlights on. Train lights on. Instrument lights on. Dimmer to full. Power on. I think we're all good here. Let's just make sure I can hit all those switches. Yes. Now if we go back here and open this little hatch. And SIFA, PZB on. I think this is the first time I've ever driven the 628 with PZB. The 628 is the reason I'm driving the 628 and not the 642, which is the DMU that's actually included with this route, is because simply that I don't really like the 642 and I definitely prefer the 628. So there. We've got a two unit formation today. We are running. What is the service we're running? It is the RB88 local from Miltenberg to Aschaffenburg. You can also run this thing on RB87 services, which are the Kreilsheim to Aschaffenburg, but you start them at Miltenberg, and those take significantly less time because those are express services. Let's get the windows open so we can hear that glorious engine purring away. The 628 is by far the best German DMU. With the other two German DMUs that we've got are the 612 from Tehran to Ramp, Dresden to Chemnitz, and the 642 from this route. But by far my favorite is the 628. Let's release the brakes. Next stop, Kleinhubach in 3.4 kilometers. The Maintalbahn was an obvious attempt by Dovetail to replicate the success of the Niedertalbahn, which they didn't really do. The scenery is far worse, and the quality is definitely middling. But yeah, the only reason I really drive the Maintalbahn is because I can use the Vossloh G6. The Deutsche Bahn BR218 and the Deutsche Bahn Red BR628, all of which are trains from Germany products. Nice little bridge here. Alright, after this we are clear up to 120 kilometers an hour. Oh, hello. Yeah. The only thing that I have to complain about the 628 is the how long it takes the brakes to release, which is, in my opinion, far too long. Also, the timetable we are in the DBBR 218 will show up. Basically, the timetable is supposed to represent the time some of the 642, one or two of the 642s had to be taken out of service, so they brought in a pair of 218s and some Dosto coaches in order to. How am I supposed to cover 2 kilometers in 1 minute? This thing isn't that fast. Also, 120 kilo. I do also like running on the Maintalbahn because. Oh, slow down to 85. Alright, let's slow down a bit. We've got a 1000 hertz magnet. Let's just make sure. Also, yeah, I do like running. Basically, you can run most Trains of Germany products on this route, apart from the Expert 101 and any stuff that comes with the Maintalbahn, but there you go. Alright, there we go. Yeah, we're not going to get there in time. We do have to slow down to 50 by the time we get into the platform, which I'm sure we'll be able to do. The 628 is very capable of slowing down. Yeah, we are going to be... I think this thing doesn't have as much performance as the 642 does, so... Yeah. Another complaint I do have about the 628, even though it's not really the developer's fault, is there's no dynamic suspension on this thing, but the 628 was released before dynamic suspension was ever a thing, so when the Maintalbahn was released, we never really imagined dynamic suspension would ever become a thing. Like, we still that was when the TSW3 lighting engine was still considered, quotes, new. Oh, I think I'm good to overshoot. Oh, not by much. Oh yeah, I will take that. There we go. We're slightly late, but there you go. It's not exactly... Because we're Deutsche Bahn, we don't have to run on time. This station is really set up weirdly. This is the down platform. This is the up platform. Odd. Oh yeah. Flat grass texture. Ugh. Alright, I love the door closing sound. It really there really are slammers. Right, next stop, Loudon back in 3.1 kilometers. I'm going to have to use full throttle in order to get to between stops, aren't I? Otherwise I won't make it in time. Pisa B so far has been absolutely no trouble at all. SIFA can be also a bit fiddly as well. Like, you hit the button for too short a time and it won't recognize that you've actually hit SIFA. Full beans. The Maintalbahn. It's not really a route I drive that much, if I'm being honest, but I got it for 80% off on the Steam sale, so I suppose it is good value for money. Come on. How am I supposed to do 2 kilometers in 45 seconds? This timetable is far too tight, even for the 642. What's going on here? And do you see why I don't drive the Maintalbahn that much? if you really want a route where you can get the 628 up to speed, you'd better take a look at Link Rheinstrecke. That's what... That's a good route. Well, decent. The rolling stock is what really sells Link Rheinstrecke. Right, cut throttle. And because we're not running one of the express services, it means we'll have to do more rapid stops. One thing we actually just learned about today is the what was it? The new timetable update for Schnellfahrstrecke Köln to Aachen. That's coming out end of April, early May, sometime around sometime before Cargo Line Volume 3 Intermodal by Skyhook Games, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love the detail on the 628. Like, she's a well-modeled diesel multiple unit. Like, look at that! Like, that looks so good. Like, the detail. Man. Alright, brakes releasing. Next stop, Klingenberg in 4.3 kilometers. Another nice thing about the 628, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, is that you can rev it to full power out of stations, and it will not, and you won't exceed the rev limiter, which is very nice. And if you want to keep to the timetable, you really do have to give it full throttle after every station, otherwise you will be late 100%. So what are our stops? Klingenberg, Würth, Erlebach, Glanz, Stoffwerke, Obernberg, Eisenfeld, Kleinwallstadt, Sulzbach, Obernau, Aschaffenburg Süd, Aschaffenburg Hochschule, and Aschaffenburg Hauptbahnhof. One thing about interesting that we're stopping at Aschaffenburg Hochschule, because that station receives quite a limited service. Okay. And pause. Let's see if we can get a good screenshot. Plant Sim World. Let's see. If I line it up like that. Like this? Maybe? Don't want to get the plants in, if I could avoid it. So just a case of lining it up well. And let's turn motion blur all the way up. It's very fiddly sometimes getting a good screenshot. There we go, that's good. Nope, wrong button. Nope, wrong button. I think we've heard enough of the good sounds, so let's just shut the door. Okay, I will have to acknowledge this signal coming up. I imagine the 1000 Hertz magnet is going to have a something to say. Slow down to 85. Right. Sometimes P&B is an absolute pain in the rear end to handle. Another thing about this route, the included 642 got an update with dynamic suspension for some reason. I wish the 628 had gotten the same update, but hey ho, there you go. Sometimes stuff like that happens. Oh, here's one of the more interesting parts of the route. There's a little water park off to the right. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's not that interesting. But I'm telling you, this route scenery is so boring, that makes it one of the more interesting parts of the route. There is a part of the route where you could, if you unlock the mastery tile, you can actually see ships launching into the river, which is pretty cool. I can't remember where that is, but yeah. Since I have got the mastery unlocker mod, that does mean I've got the mastery for this route and all other routes that I have. Though I'm pretty sure the only route I have which doesn't have a mastery tile is the Duisburg to Bochum route. Full service. I think we're gonna overshoot. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Get the brakes to minimum. 642 over here, running an RB88 service down to Miltenberg. I mean, the 642 is a very interesting beast. The looks are very unique. Look at these massive panoramic windows on the sides, for one thing. Yeah, but it's not my favorite. And the 628 is by far my favorite DMU in this game. If you have Toronto Rump Dresden to Chemnitz, I don't, but if you do, there's actually the sorry, I can't English, the 612 from Dresden to Chemnitz layers onto this route, despite a 612 having never run on this route in real life, and the 612 having the wrong decals, which is just emblematic, really, of Dovetail games. 1.9 kilometers to Wörth. There goes the 642. What frames am I getting? 50 frames a second. That's not bad for my computer. We seem to be sticking pretty well on time despite the tight timetable. And since Deutsche Bahn has a reputation for being slightly unreliable, I personally don't mind if we're a bit late. Okay, we have the warning sign for the 90 km/h limit. The CFA on this unit is very aggressive, I must say. Wait, those barriers are up! Why are those barriers up? That's not supposed to be a thing. I've never seen that before. I have seen it before. But I don't remember where. There has been routes where level crossing barriers fail to go down. Alright, welcome to Verth. Looks as though we have a 90 limit in force until almost the next station. Solar panels. I must say the station modeling is also pretty decent. But if I didn't know better, I'd say that this is a route, like, say, from, like, 2020 that's been updated to have better, better lighting, because that's how bad the scenery is. Next stop, Erlenbach in 1.2 kilometers. So on this route, the Miltenberg end of the unit is the powered one, and the the Aschaffenburg end is the powered one, and then the Miltenberg end car is unpowered. On the Maintalbahn, it's a very similar, somewhat similar situation. On the Bad Vilbel, the Bad Vilbel end is the power end, and the Stockheim end is the unpowered car. Yeah, and each end of the train even has its own designation. This one is designated BR628, the unpowered car is designated BR928. Ooh, nice bridge. This is a custom asset. I'll give the developers credit. That is an custom asset. Alright, I think I've got to take another screenshot. Take another one and do that. There we go. All right. All right, we are clear back up to 120 kilometers an hour once we leave this station. We're still within the platform. Slight overshoot, but there you go. So, okay. There is going to be a 218 coming in the 218 formation coming in the opposite direction. It's scheduled to leave Aschaffenburg at 9:51. So in 15 minutes. So we should overtake it at some point. I just don't know when. Gotta wait for the... Alright, next stop, Glanzstoffwerke in 2.7 kilometers, but I got for the brakes to release. Beans... I think it does accelerate pretty quickly, but not as fast as the 642. Also, one thing I do wish is that if we were able to roll back these curtains, but I suppose that wouldn't be prototypical, so we can't. See what I meant when I said this route wasn't as successful as the Maintalbahn. It's basically straight. It's basically straight, and it's got basically almost like no scenery whatsoever. It is slightly ridiculous that Dovetail even attempted to replicate the success of the Maintalbahn. The Maintalbahn is by far one of my I think it's my top 4th favorite route in this game, after Preston to Carlisle, Blackpool branches, and the Maintalbahn, all of which are third-party products made by Just Trains and what was it? And Train Sim Germany. Train Sim Germany is so good. So we've got some industrial sidings. Sifa is quite aggressive on this. Ooh, I like the design of this station. You can park your bike on the platform and then just get in the train. I love that. That's so cool. We're running 40 seconds late, but that doesn't matter. This is actually the first route where you could run the Deutsche Bahn red version of the 628 in timetable mode, because it had previously only appeared as AI on the S-Bahn Vorarlberg route. It only got added to Hamburg to Lübeck later, after this route came out. Oh! Come on, let's go. Right. Oberberg Elsenfeld in 1.3 kilometers. And then after that, we do have a red signal, so I'm guessing a train. Schaffenburg to Kreilsheim. Acknowledge. Still down to 85 kilometers an hour. Okay. I'm guessing there's some reason where there's a red signal. Okay, this guy is having to wait for us. The Schaffenburg to Kreilsheim service. Right. 800 meters. I'll shut down the throttle. Oh, this is quite a large area. What's also weird about this route is Schaffenburg is also the terminus for another TSW route, which is Maintalbahn. One of the DLCs for Maintalbahn was the Deutsche Bahn BR204 by Rivet Games, the diesel shunter. And for some reason, on Maintalbahn, I can run down to Schaffenburg Süd, or Port, and do shunting around there on Maintalbahn. But on this route, the 204 is nowhere to be seen for some odd reason. Double header 642 service. And off he goes. He is presumably waiting for us to get out of the way. Okay, 500 hertz, magnet, lovely jubbly. Okay, bit of an overshoot, but there you go. Alright. Who is it that's in the way? I presume there's someone in the way. Oh, no. Now the signal's green. Alright. That PZB mode means we have to stay below 100 kilometers an hour. No, it's want to to stay below 44 kilometers an hour. 44. Next stop, Kleinwallstadt in 3.9 kilometers. It does feel nice to run the 628 at speed because okay. Let's just stay below 45. Okay. Oh, wait, there we go. One annoying thing about the Maintalbahn is top line speed on there is 60 kilometers an hour. It's only on this route and Link Rheinstrecke where the 628 really gets to stretch its legs, proverbially speaking, of course. It doesn't have any legs because it's a train. Another annoying thing about the 628 is that it doesn't layer onto the Maintalbahn, but I suppose it would probably be unrealistic to have the 628 on there, which is why it doesn't layer in. There is actually a secret low tone on the horn, because as you can see, spacebar uses foot pedal, but if you use the manual switch, you can actually get a secret low tone on the horn. Listen. Alright. Looks as though we will have to slow down to 100. This unit's top speed is 120 kilometers an hour, I'm pretty sure, so... Oh wow, look, we can completely obstruct our field of vision. Alright, let's cut the throttle. Limit in place. All right. Kleinwallstadt. So after this, there's the Aschaffenburg Süd or port branch. And then, yeah. Oh, we've actually covered 2/3 of the route already. Impressive. Also, another thing I'm really annoyed about with Maintalbahn is it's just far too short. Even if you're running the local stopper like I am, it still takes less than 50 minutes to complete a full run of the Maintalbahn, which is well too short. No, you don't. It started rolling away. Next stop, Sulzbach in 5.1 kilometers. And at the same time, the 218 will leave Aschaffenburg. I'm surprised people are overwhelmed by PZB. It's pretty easy once you get to know your way around it. But I did struggle for 2 days trying to figure it out when I got the Expert 101, so... yeah. Previously, the only safety system I was using on German trains was SIFA. Now I'm using LZB, PZB, and Inducey. Goodness gracious, SIFA is really annoying to acknowledge. Like, I press SIFA, and then it doesn't acknowledge it, and I press it again, and then it does acknowledge. Is that a pink van? I've never seen a pink traffic car before. Let me know in the comments, chaps. Have you ever seen a pink traffic car before? Because I never have. Oh, okay, that was a bit of a stutter, that was. Hopefully, we can get the 218 up to some sort of velocity on the section that we have left. I love the little clunks it's making. Listen. They're barely detectable, but you can tell it's making some clunking noises. I love that. I love how the 628 is and then we come to my main complaint about the 642. The 642 doesn't have any character. The 628 has character in spadefuls. If you want a train with character in this game, then I highly recommend you get the 628. Oh, sorry. .3 kilometers to run. There we go. There's another pink van. Is that something that's unique to the Maintalbahn viewers? Because if so, please let me know down in the comments, because that is, I've never seen pink AI traffic or parked cars before. Is that a new thing? Because I wouldn't know. Alright. Let's check in on the 218. Yeah, there he is. Okay, he's clear to go onto the track. So I'm guessing I'll be cleared as far as Aschaffenburg Süd. Because yeah, there's no more stopping point. I don't want to get stuck. We're actually running on time. Nice. Next stop, Obernau in 2 kilometers. Another thing that needs to be added to the 628 is that new diesel smoke effect that Just Trains added for the Pacer and the Class 101 and the Class 47 on their routes, plural. Alright, 1 kilometer out. Let's cut the throttle. Running with all safety systems and not just SIFA does add an extra element of unpredictability, which I absolutely love. We love unpredictability on this channel, don't we? Oh. Goodness. Alright. I want to find out where that 218 is. He hasn't even left Aschaffenburg yet. Oh no, he's moving. He's at 9 kilometers an hour. Oh, there's a tractor! Haha! There's a tractor parked. There's a tractor parked in in the parking lot. I've never seen that before. I have driven on this route before off camera, so I don't really know why I wouldn't have noticed something like that before. I think we'll get clearance through to Aschaffenburg Süd. Yeah, there goes the here comes the 218. Wow, that's actually a lot of stuff of freight at the 3 yards at Aschaffenburg. Impressive. Here comes the 218. Oh, and I'm late. Got too distracted by looking at the map. My mistake. Next stop, Aschaffenburg Süd in 4 kilometers. Okay, we do have a speed limit change coming up. And I'm guessing PZB will tell us that we aren't cleared to go through because we'll have like a red signal or something. One of the things I do like about the Maintalbahn is it does have consistent performance. Due to the lack of scenery and other trains around, it does get pretty consistent frames, and it's not too stuttery. I'll let the train naturally coast back to 80 kilometers an hour. Why does this, oh, it's because of these corners. I do like taking the G6 and doing shunting in the Aschaffenburg Süd area. There's the track coming from Aschaffenburg Süd. So now we might see shunters around. Oh, I'm guessing we'll have a magnet telling us to slow down any minute now. Alright, gotta slow down to 85. Oh, okay. Hey, look, there's the 218. There he is. That's by far my favorite German diesel in the game, but the 628 a close second. Bear in mind, to have the 218 show up on this route, you have to have Hamburg to Lübeck. You can't just buy the 218 and the Maintalbahn. You have to have this the Hamburg to Lübeck, otherwise you can't use it because the Dostos are from Hamburg to Lübeck. Two Train Sim Germany legends next to each other. Don't see that too often. Not too many routes where you can actually see that sort of thing. Two on A is so cool. Two Train Sim Germany legends right next to each other. Man. Yeah, no, there he is. The diesel effects are causing my frames to tank. Alright, you've got to stay below 24. Right, next stop, Aschaffenburg Hochschule in 950 meters. This is a... No! As soon as I went over 24... Come on! You... Unpredictability. Unpredictability. Ugh. That's annoying. As soon as I went above 24, it went, nope, you are not going any further. Have an emergency brake application to lighten up your day. Sometimes I regret using PZB, and this is one of those times. And I was just extolling the virtues of PZB. Woof. Alright. 45 kilometers an hour, I can adhere to that. Turn this off. There we go. Oh, this is a tight gap, I must say. All the scenery from Aschaffenburg Sud up to Aschaffenburg itself is actually recycled from Maintalbahn, because of course it is. Oh, this is going to be tight. Ah! Ooh, nice! Well done, train. Alright. PZB is telling me the speed limit is 45. Got it. Yeah, Aschaffenburg Hochschule is not that used. Even the um, even the so-called local services do have not all of them stop here. Okay, speed limit 45. Next and final stop, Aschaffenburg Hauptbahnhof in, 1.4 kilometers. Okay, looks as though we do have a speed limit of 40 coming in, eventually. What the? I forgot to acknowledge the signal. Ah! Come on. That's annoying. I think all the stuff around Aschaffenburg is loading in. Yep, that's frame dropping. That's frames dropping through the floor. .800 meters to Aschaffenburg Hauptbahnhof. So off that way is the Maintalbahn, and also Kassel to Würzburg. That's not too far away from here either. Oh. There's a 642 to 363. Oh my goodness, why are my frames going so low? Ooh, hello, look over there. It's a Vossloh G6, my favorite diesel, one of my favorite diesel shunters in the game. Apart from, apart from the British Rail Class 08, the Just Trains, the version, of course, with Blackpool branches and/or Preston to Carlisle, because that one's much better than its Tees Valley or what is it? Tees Valley or something else. Tees Valley or Northern Transpennine counterparts. Sorry, I just completely forgot. Unlocking doors. I think the reason my frames are so low is because of all the diesel smoke. For some reason, it absolutely kills my frames. Yeah, I do really like the Vossloh G6. If you can actually run it on free roam on LGV Mediterranee, it's actually certified to run in France. Fun fact. Locking doors. Platinum medal, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be all for this video, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell for notifications in the same spot. Follow on Twitch, follow me on Blue Sky, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.